And hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Today is a very exciting day. I'm gonna wait a little bit to get started with our live show, and I'm gonna share with you very soon what this is about and what it is that we are doing and what is happening in the first place, right? So this is casual. Well, I would say casual. It's a little more interactive. You know, I like to do my podcasts, and I usually pre-record my podcasts. Um, However, this is more of a live element to everything that we are doing within the Love Goddess brand that is interactive. So I really, really want to see your comments. I want to see your questions. I want to hear your thoughts. I just want that not just a one way interaction, but a two-way and three-way when we have guest experts interaction as well. And so, why I created the live show? First of all, I want to keep in touch with the community altogether, right? I want to get to know you. I want to know what are certain struggles that you are experiencing. And I also want to know what questions you want me to base my content on. Because when I sit down for my weekly, all right, what is it that I am sharing with my community here, right? I sit down and I ask myself a question. So, what do my girls want to know from me? What do my girls want to learn from me? And so, this is very important for me to really have that um, uh, feedback from you, right? The second aspect of the live show and why it is going to be completely different from everything else that we've done is that I am finally wanting to introduce experts and talk to other women and other people like sex educators, people who are relationship coaches, sex coaches, all other experts that bring in their own nugget of wisdom to everything that we are doing here in the Love Goddess brand altogether, right? And so if you are watching and if you are a sex educator, if you're someone who is working in the subjects of femininity, sexuality, beauty, any of those areas that we are so passionate about, please, I encourage you to message me and say, hey, I want to be part of your experts right now. We have our calendar fully open very soon. I'm sure we're going to be filled up and we would have to start saying no to people. But right now, we are very open. So please make sure to message me if you are an expert on any of these areas. Also, this is very casual, right? So I don't like, it's a conversation mode, right? And conversation mode, I'm gonna remove the banner over here. I'm gonna switch to my comments. Perfect. Um, Conversation mode implies that you are asking me questions and I'm responding to your questions, right? Conversation mode implies that you are cheering me on and I'm cheering you on back, right? I want to celebrate your successes. I want to hear your stories. I want to know who you are, why you are here, what is it that you are trying to learn in life or what next level you have in your own life, right? And so a lot of the subjects I also want to hear from my experts is how are they handling their own relationship with their partners, right? How, like, what is, because there's so many different dynamics, what works for my dynamic may not work for another person, right? And so it is very, very important that we hear all these different perspectives, right? Different sides to the story, different aspects of all things Love Goddess, right? And that will give us more perspective. And if you're watching me, say hi. Tell me where you're coming from. Tell me if you are watching a replay or if you're watching me live. I want to know who you are and what you're up to and what you are about to. Anyway, so if you're an expert or an educator, we have a lot of time slots right now to schedule you in for our Love Goddess live show. So today I really am excited to be talking about Valentine's Day, right? And all things Valentine's Day. I know I've recorded a whole bunch of podcasts for you to just to really dive into each little aspect of a Valentine's Day. If a lot of women, they just they live life. They live life from a place of, all right, like another day, I just got off like from my bed, like put my shoes on out the door, like no planning, no preparation, no intention. It's just like this going with the flow kind of vibe, right? And so that is exactly what love goddesses are not. Love goddesses are not someone who just so funny. I used to back in my high school days, by the way, that's how far we're going. Back in my high school days, I used to write an article. I was like up and coming journalist, and I wrote an article for a school newspaper, and I used the word float like shit in the current. And everyone who read my article would come to me and point that out. Wow, that was really like a nice expression, meaning not, that you used for your, paper in high school, right? So, but that is like nothing has changed. Like nothing has changed from the time I was in high school. I still talk to women who fill out like shit in a current because they get so wrapped up and so busy in daily lives. And the problem is with the society in general, like people are waking up and they just do the same thing over and over, and they may have some vague desires to go there and do like this, but they don't, like, it's not backed up with the decision or determination or intention. It's like, if I had a lot of money, like, or if, like, oh, I wish, like all these women who are commenting on our boudoir posts, oh, I wish I had the body like that. And I'm sorry, I'm like, really? Showing you how I feel about it with how I'm talking about it. Like I want to like shake that woman up like that, and I want to say, girlfriend, I am tired. Like you're not gonna get anywhere but like to the bottom of your life if you sit here and say, oh, I wish I had a body like that so I could do a boudoir session. Or I wish I had more money. Or I wish, and like your I wishes are not gonna get you anywhere. And I am very much into tough love, right? And that's why you're hearing me saying a lot of things that other people would be like tiptoeing around and would be trying to find nice ways to say it. I am fucking straight on. I will tell you what I think, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, right? So anyone who comments on, I wish I had like a body for a boudoir session, or I wish I had the money, go fucking make the money. Go do a boudoir session. Yeah, you're gonna love. Like, that's what I am doing myself. It's so scary for me to get on the other side of opening a freaking 5,000 square feet building, committing to $10,000 in rent in monthly, committing to hiring more people. Oh my God, it is scary. Oh my God, it is scary, but I'm doing it. I'm trusting the universe. I'm trusting women's gonna come. I'm trusting that on the other side of fear, that on the other side of the risk that I'm making, I'm gonna have the different results. Because if you are waking up every morning doing the same thing over and over, nothing's gonna change in your own life. Nothing's gonna change in your body, in how you see yourself, in your self-love journey. Nothing's gonna change in your financial world. Nothing is gonna change if you do the same thing over and over and over and over. And another thing, since I'm so big into spirituality, nothing's gonna change if you don't change your energy around it, right? Your perspective that I'm not good enough for a boudoir session, I'm not good enough for money. There's a whole journey, and that's why I'm creating a coaching program on abundance and manifesting, right? If you are not changing any of your energy around these subjects, nothing's going to change in your life. You will be at the same level for the rest of your life because you keep doing the same thing over and over. That's why I'm pushing you. Go do what you are most scared of. Go do that boudoir session because you are scared of it. Go commit financially to something because it's going to put fire under your ass to go and actually make more money, right? Like, go do what you are most scared of, because you know what? You are completely unlimited. There's no limit to who you are. The only limit that you're having is your own perception of yourself, your own idea of yourself, your own idea of I am only growing to this level, but that's outside of my range, right? No, I want for you to think bigger, and that is what we are doing with Love Goddesses and Love Goddess Academy. This is what we are doing with Cleopatras, who are already at my level, right? Who are already Love Goddesses, but they wanting bigger life. They wanting bigger prosperity. They wanting bigger lifestyle. And the only thing that's holding them back is their own limited thinking on what they can have. Their own limited thinking on what they can have in life, right? Anyway, let me narrow and circle back down into Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, right? I am guilty for drifting. I am guilty for going into the area of other subjects, right? So, like, you gotta keep me focused. Valentine's is coming, and it is very exciting. The reason why I even started drifting is because women don't plan for Valentine's Day, right? If you want something amazing in your life, you gotta make room. You gotta make room for that thing in your life. You gotta make space, right? You gotta make space. So if you're now looking at your calendar and you going, holy cow, Valentine's is on Tuesday, and I have to be at work 9 to 5 sharp, right? If you are looking at that, that means you failed to plan. All right, if you have work commitments, that's great. I recommend you take a day off, or you should have taken the day off or scheduled that day off. I scheduled that day off for myself, my team, right? Valentine's Day is important in the Love Goddess brand, right? Valentine's Day is super important here. So, if you're looking at your calendar and you are like 99% of women is like, oh fuck, Valentine's Day is coming, what an inconvenience. big trouble, but you're also in the right place because we're gonna make the mindset right about it. So I want for your Valentine's Day to be the most important holiday in your entire day, like in year. It's like my husband told me the other day. Oh, Valentine's Day is not even a real holiday. Well, that's a problem. It should be a real holiday and it should be like a day off for everyone because guess what? The divorce rate is like 50%, right? Of all marriages fail. Or honestly, I do not know the proper statistics, so you're welcome to correct me. But why do you think divorce rate is so high? Because women in long-term relationships don't prioritize their relationship. They don't prioritize being with the loved one. They don't prioritize treating the relationship as if it was the beginning of the relationship. And the beginning of relationship is easy because when you have when you don't have a lover, you're like craving that, you wanting that, you're creating space for that, you're treating this as a novelty, right? But when you have a lover, especially if it's a long-term relationship, then you are stuck in I would say in a rut because life gets in the way and you stop making room and you stop making space for the date nights and you stop making space for other important things to do with your partner, right? So let's say you were used to go to watch like a sports game at a bar on Sundays and you stop doing that and now it's like, oh, I don't like football anyway, why would I waste my time, there is laundry to be done. Right? So life gets in the way, especially with big major changes, like with changes like motherhood, becoming a mother, having a childbirth, because now your focus shifts, which I never recommend, never. Your focus shifts from being focused on your relationship and your husband onto your child now, right? And now you are all about your child and you forget about your husband, right? And so not that he does not need to play a part, both of you are in this, right? So both of you are creating this amazing, I call it fantasy world or irresistible world for yourself, right? And so when you are in that fantasy world, it's important for you to have an impact. It's like it's not gonna work if you are doing all the heavy lifting. You're gonna be so resentful. It needs to be you put in your portion and he puts in his portion, right? It's a two-way street, not a one-way street, right? And so it is important to establish in your family that Valentine's Day is important and that Valentine's Day is for couples. It is important to establish this as a rule, right? And it is important to put it on a calendar to plan something amazing for both of you. It is important that he takes a day off, that you take a day off, and both of you find a babysitter, right? It is that important. That is how I want for you to treat Valentine's Day because it's going to become one of those non negotiable holidays where you simply cannot like this is like I want this to be your new Christmas or New Year or new birthday, right? Like I want this to be an important holiday in your life, right? And I want for you to celebrate you as a couple because that's the day to celebrate your love, you as a couple. And if you don't remember that on a daily basis or weekly basis, I want for you to at least remember this for Valentine's Day, that you are important. You need to celebrate yourself. You need to nourish yourself. You need to cherish yourself. Let me move my mic closer to me. Nourish yourself, cherish yourself, and spend that time together, right? Super, super important. So my husband and I, partially somewhat unplanned, went on vacation in Aruba just last week, right? I have to say I've been in such a CEO business lady mode that I was just like on the verge of being burnt out, and I work, but I haven't put a lot of attention to my spiritual nourishment, right? And I realized I stopped doing my daily spiritual practice. I've compromised. I had to drive to the apartment, so my lifestyle changed. I hired a person who was working with me by my side, so I had to stick to a schedule instead of being a little more in a flow state of things. And so now we have the production apartment that I am currently in, right? So this is pretty much my office, right? My workspace, and I love treating it like I love like that my house has become now the place where I can finally relax. Where before I could not relax in my own house. It was, and I just resented being in my house. That's how much I cannot stand working from home. Like I love working from home, but I don't like working from home. If you know what I mean. My house was this place of stress, anxiety, all the to-do lists, and like I literally could not relax at home. Now that I have my apartment here, right? I work from my apartment and I can now relax in my house. And I am like so blessed that I am now finally have a place where I can have uninterrupted sleep, my meditations, all that stuff that home is for, right? Home is for relaxing, not working. So the whole work from home thing, I have questions about it. Like, yes, I'm all about like working from a dedicated space on your own timeline, right? Because that what works for me. But working from home, where you also have sex and have kids and relax and sleep and eat, and like to me it just doesn't work. I'm not about like having this one place for everything. I'm about having a dedicated space for everything else. Like I want to, like I personally now my next goal is to have a sex room. Cause like in sex room, that's the mood. Yeah, like you walk in and that's for sex. Cause right now the bedroom is for sleeping. The bedroom is for sleeping and reading books before bed, right? Like the bedroom is not for sex in my world, right? So like I need a sex room. And we are kind of extended our limitations on like how many bedrooms we can add to, like, unless we actually have a build out or an addition. We can't have that right now, sadly. But so therefore we're using tricks of setting the mood and making a bedroom feel like a different place when we do have a romantic night. I wouldn't say scheduled because that sounds like, all right, whip up my calendar, scheduled sex night. No, it's like more intentional. It's talking about making an arrangement. So I thought I kept like it really sounds so dry and it is not, right? So Valentine's Day should have been planned, and you still have time. That's why we're having this conversation now. Valentine's Day is important. It needs to be intentional and it needs to be planned out, right? And you don't just plan out, all right, let me book dinner reservations. You also plan out what is it that we're going to do differently that we don't really do on a regular date night, right? What is it that we look, Cara says gotta put it in my calendar. I mean, it is and it isn't, right? Like it is and it isn't. Like I have to know, like I have to make arrangement that yes, I opening up that mental space and physical space on a calendar, right? But it cannot be dry as if it's a business transaction, if you know what I mean, right? So approach is slightly different, but it is still neat. Like you have to create space, and if that's your space on a calendar, so the way we do it, we have dedicated nights, right? That we know, like, all right, on this night, on like Wednesday or Saturday, right? Like this is our special night together, right? So we always keep that space open. We're not planning into the problem with a lot of women is that they don't make space for that. They don't make space for special nights. They don't make space for couples time. And that's a problem. And that's why a lot of women just don't have sex, period, right? Because they're busy, 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 and then life gets in the way, kids get in the way, work gets in the way, like everything gets in the way. So like we have to be so intentional with putting it on a calendar in a way, right? But what I mean by setting, intending, creating, that's the good word, creating space for that. Creating space in your day, so that you and him are both knowing, and going into Wednesday night with anticipation for some intimate time together, right? So that's super important. And so just like that, I want for you to approach Valentine's Day with creating the space, creating the mood, creating the preparation, like preparing for this, right? It's not about just making dinner reservations and exchanging gifts. I want for you to go outside the box. I want like you go on dinner dates, hopefully, often. Like I want for your Valentine's Day to be different. I want this like not to be your regular date night. I want for this day to be more special. Like that's why I've been talking on my podcasts about, hey, create the mood, create the vibe. Go get yourself a dress because that's gonna make you feel like this is something special that you are preparing for, right? Because the dress that you're gonna get is gonna make you feel special. Go get like special jewelry or heels or something that makes you feel beautiful, something that makes you feel sexy, something that makes you feel like you are at the top of your game, right? And so where if it's just a regular dinner night, you would just like, if you're like me, you would open your closet and like pick from what you have instead of feeling like, hey, you are breaking into something new, like you're bringing this new energy into your Valentine's Day with this dress that you have bought specifically for that, right? And also lingerie, wear some sexy lingerie underneath, wear sexy heels, stockings or any tights of some sorts where you just feel like that up leveled, upscaled, sexy woman that you just walk in, like your walk changes when you feel different. You feel confident, you feel radiant, you feel inspired. You like walk into that Valentine's Day restaurant like you're the queen of the restaurant, right? You walk in the door and like everyone turning heads. Who is this woman? I had an experience recently. Um, I went to some kind of party here at the apartment complex that I'm in. They have this rooftop deck, which is really cool because it has the views of the Westin Hotel, and the beautiful, like, you can see light flickering from the road. It's just really really pretty. And so they have parties from time to time that are open to public, and like, props to the apartment management. They are organizing those parties for all tenants to come together, right? And so I've attended one recently, and I wasn't even planning on going. I had just happened to be bored, which is a rare case, right? Like, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go check out whatever party that is up on the rooftop deck, right? So I did, and I put my heels on, and I am walking to the rooftop deck, right? Like all confident, because you can't expect anything other than that from me, right? Chin high, posture, like all the things that I'm teaching you in the Love Goddess Academy, right? And like I'm walking in and people are literally turning heads and looking at me, and I'm walking in with the ownership of the room. Like I am so like with the attitude, because I'm so used to doing this now, I can't even do it any other way, right? Like I walk in and I know I'm gonna get all the attention because I'm presenting myself in that way. So I walk in the room chin high, owning the room, saying hello everyone, right? Nobody knows me. And so everyone's turning head and coming to me, and like literally 3 people immediately jumped over to me and said, "Oh my God, when you came in, I just felt like your presence. You're like, girl, rock it, rock it." So like I started having these like I'm when you are confident, when you are walking with an attitude of owning yourself, owning your confidence into that room, people just come to you. That you are magnetic to people, to men. Men came to me, started giving me all sorts of compliments too. So it is when you walking into the room with that attitude, you are literally sending out the message, and your energy is different. But you know what, that energy comes from your inner confidence, but that also comes from what you wear. And that's why I'm telling you, I'm putting so much attention onto going and getting yourself something so nice that you feel like you're $1,000,000 in it, right? If I wasn't wearing my high heels, if I wasn't wearing like some nice clothes for that party, I would probably be a little more casual and a little more laid back and a little bit more not owning the room, right? I would still be to a degree because that's just part of who I am. But my energy would have been a little softer, a little less ownership like, right? So it really like what you wear on the inside, like what on the inside too, on the outside, and underneath your dress matters. It matters. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel confident. It makes you feel beautiful, right? Don't stare at your, if you are not happy with your body, don't stare for an hour in the mirror hating your body. No, like put something nice where you now stare in the mirror and you're loving how you look. You're loving how you look. And from that attitude, go into a party and own the room, right? Let me flip through some. Do we have any more comments? I'm not seeing any more comments or questions or anything. Girls, this is like a live interaction. I'm really enjoying this. I am so excited to start doing our Love Goddess live show every Friday at 11. And I am looking for experts too. So if you are, or if you know someone who is sex educator, who is some kind of coach, who is an expert in something, or not in something, but in all things Love Goddess, which is beauty, sexuality, relationship, love, sex, get me connected, because like I literally want to sit with them and ask them about their perspectives, their love dynamic, their relationship, because everyone approaching things differently, and it is always so interesting to hear and see if that works for that couple, may not work for that couple, but that works for that couple, and maybe we can incorporate their stuff, their ideas into what we do and how we do relationship differently, right? So super, super important. Okay, ladies, I'm gonna keep these shows to about 30 minutes each time, unless we have a guest expert, and we'll extend to an hour. And since we don't have any other questions, I am so wanting for all of you ladies have this amazing Valentine's Day and have the best sex in your life on Valentine's Day and forever and ever too, right? And I want for you to feel like $1,000,000, and I want for you to embrace this sexy love goddess that you are within yourself. And sometimes you know you have her inside, but you just so not used to seeing her. And a lot of times it is so scary for you to call her out because you may have gone through some trauma in the past that you haven't worked through. But taking little steps into embracing that woman within, taking those little steps into becoming a love goddess in your life is super important. And that's gonna kickstart you on your journey of becoming a love goddess in your life. And I hope you are having a wonderful day today, and we are going into beautiful weekend. Hopefully the weather stays, and I will see you soon. Mwah. Love you all.